a gag ball in my mouth. Not that I know. Okay. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to my channel. I'm Olivia. This is my first video, so I don't really know what to expect from making this. This is my dog Casper. You'll probably see him moving in and out, and probably my other dog Kylo. I'm basically here to talk about a surgery that I'm about to have in, I think, 3 days. It's a surgery that I've known that I was gonna need when I was a lot younger. I can't believe that it's finally happening. It's here. I'm 29 now, and it's something that I've probably thought about every single day through my teens and early 20s, and that is corrective double jaw surgery. I think it's also known as Bimaxillary Osteotomy. I knew that I was going to need corrective jaw surgery since I was about 14, 15, because my jaws were becoming really heavy. They just didn't feel right. It's effort to talk. I find it difficult to eat, to speak. Everything's just, I don't know. When I was 11, 12, just after, I think it was like my 12th birthday, I knew that I was gonna have braces, and this was way before I knew I was gonna need double jaw surgery. My top teeth were kind of crooked, so my orthodontist at the time kind of made this plan for my parents, just, you know, the normal routine to have braces. So they took out 8 teeth, I think it was, which is, you know, fast forward to now, which is one of the main reasons why I'm having supposedly a lot of problems. They were perfectly healthy, I just had a lot of overcrowding. That kind of caused my palate to go extremely narrow. It just caused a lot of other issues. It makes it difficult to like brush my teeth. I have to eat with the very back of my teeth, which apparently isn't normal. I don't know. I'm just going off what my doctors have been telling me and my surgeon. It was like a really kind of difficult time when I was 12, going through braces. I had them taken off early because, I mean, apparently I wasn't looking after them. Like, I've had braces on now as an adult. Just after my 28th birthday, so last October, he's given me the green light to get surgery a little bit earlier than what they sort of planned, because they can't do any more to my teeth. Like, apparently my jaw's locked, my teeth are locked to a certain position now, so they can't make any more progress until I've had the surgery. They look pretty, I don't know if you can see them, but they're pretty straight, but there's still a lot of work to do. I used to have this tooth that overlapped, and like, this is the first time I've been able to see this tooth, and it sounds horrible. And I didn't really notice that at the time. I knew they were crooked, but I'd kind of given up hope for a long time. I'm really glad that I was kind of able to recognize, and like, I love my parents dearly, but I don't know, like, we knew that this surgery was gonna be a thing, and I don't really know why we didn't continue with the treatment. You know, I was at college, my parents had 3 other kids to deal with. There was a lot on at the time. So I think we just decided to not go with it. You know, it's what it is. Lots of people have crooked teeth. It's not that noticeable at the time, so we'll just leave it. And I think that was pretty much the gist. Skip to 10 years later, it became really noticeable to me. I was finding it difficult to talk, just a nightmare to get words out. I just couldn't seem to chew properly. I spit and drool like all the time, and it's so embarrassing. And I'd look around and be like, nobody else is doing that. So why is that happening to me? I just knew that something wasn't correct. When I was about 24, 25, I tried getting seen to, and I went to the NHS, and notice on the NHS, we're so lucky to have it, but I didn't seem to get on with my dentist or orthodontist that I saw at the hospital. And it was just a really kind of traumatic experience for me. They were dissing on the crookedness of my teeth. They were embarrassing me. They were like, oh, we don't believe that you've ever had braces. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have records, so you can see I've had braces. And yeah, I just lost all confidence. They kind of gave me the thumbs up that I could start the process and see like more doctors about it. But yeah, I was really deflated, and At this point, I was like, again, I'm used to my face now, I'll just live with it. Maybe it's all in my head. But then it became more difficult for me. My overbite was definitely getting worse. I noticed in pictures that my chin was growing off to the side, and I think my nose was kind of following it. So mix that with everything else, with the not being able to eat or speak and all that sort of stuff, I was like, enough's enough now. And I'm really lucky that I get insurance. I decided to use this app that we had to speak to GPs, spoke to them about it. They referred me to this amazing surgeon at London Bridge Hospital. He's called Jonas. Osher. He's so patient, he's been so amazing, so lovely. And he actually removed my wisdom teeth, which I'll come back to. And he recommended me to the Kensington dentist to see David Young, who has been the most patient, incredible and lovely orthodontist that just gets it. They work as a team, so they specialize in this sort of thing. And I've seen a couple of girls in and out that have had the surgery, and my goodness, they look amazing. You wouldn't even think that they've had like underbites or overbites. So I spoke to my orthodontist, and he did some measurements on my consultation, and he was able to figure out what was going on. And he told me that I had quite a prominent overbite, a class 2 profile. I think class 3 is like underbite, class 2 is overbite, and class 1 is like a normal bite. I think. He told me I had a class 2 overbite, an open bite, and a cross bite. So yeah, there was a lot kind of going on with my mouth. He wouldn't see to me properly until I had had all my teeth checked from years of like mouth breathing. And my teeth were also close together, like the bones, the teeth had sort of meshed like this, that I couldn't floss. My top wisdom teeth had kind of come through normally, but again, because I wasn't able to reach them, because everything was so compact together, they kind of deteriorated. But luckily I'd seen this dentist that worked with my orthodontist, who was able to kind of like salvage them. She cleaned them up, made them real pretty again. But my bottom wisdom teeth had impacted, which means they weren't able to fully grow up, and they'd kind of like rotted away, and they'd started to infect all my other teeth, which ended up leaving me to have root canals and loads of work done to save the teeth. Because I'd had so many teeth extracted as a kid, they kind of looked at every option to keep as many teeth in my mouth as possible. But yeah, there was just no way that they could salvage these bottom wisdom teeth. So they decided, right, go back to Jonas, get him to remove the wisdom teeth, come back to this and get everything sorted. I actually really enjoyed my wisdom teeth surgery because it was like the first getting to know my surgeon, like his response time, kind of getting to experience his bedside manner, just getting to know him more on a surgeon level rather than a consultant. And he was so nice. They had to sort of like move my jaws a little bit more than what they do at the dentist if you were to have them extracted. So it was a little bit more complicated. They even like came and told me that it was very difficult for him to remove them. They were pretty sure that I was going to be numb, but luckily after a couple of weeks everything came back. It took me like 2 weeks, I think, to recover. I wish I'd been a bit more aware of what that was going to entail. My job kind of requires me to voice record scripts and things like that. So there was just no way that I could do it. Yeah, I bruised insanely. I looked like Elephant Man. But the hospital experience itself was really nice. Like, you get your own room. Look how nice this room was with a view of the Thames. It was a really nice experience to what I'd had, you know, from previous surgeries. So moving on from that, I had more consultations with my surgeon. We figured out that I had sleep apnea. I'm very tired all the time. I have a lot of fog brain. I find it very difficult to speak to people, not only because of my jaw issues, but for a long time I thought maybe I had an underlying issue of some sort. Like, you can probably tell in this video maybe I'm struggling, or maybe that's because it's my first video, but anyway, it's hard for me to kind of communicate with people. It's been a difficult growing up. Small violin, right? Finding out that I had this sleep apnea, it felt like a revelation to me, to be honest, because it kind of, not that I wanted to just excuse everything to this, but it was kind of amazing to be able to be like, oh my goodness, this explains it. I thought I was anemic, maybe diabetic, like had so many tests of different things to figure out why I was kind of like just slow in response to everything and to think of things. So it was kind of amazing to finally have that recognition of why I am the way that I am. And again, trying to explain that to my parents was kind of difficult, because I think for a long time they thought that I had just a cosmetic issue with my face. They would turn around and say, oh, you're beautiful, don't worry about it. Even the NHS hospitals telling me like, yeah, she's going to eventually need this surgery. They just didn't really get it. And I think a lot of people that have this condition experience that. If I turn my profile, you can see that like my chin hadn't really grown properly, so I'm getting a genioplasty, which I've had to pay for myself because that is classed as cosmetic. Okay, it's great correcting the jaw, but you still kind of want to look, I don't know, normal. So he suggested again this genioplasty just to give my face that little bit of definition whilst I'm having this corrective jaw surgery. So both of my jaws are underdeveloped, so they go backwards. And then you can see my overbite. And I don't know if you can see it on this, I've got a crossbite, and then from my jaws being not developed properly, my nose isn't in its correct structure, and then I've got very hollow eyes. There's so many different things that can be caused from your jaws not developing. They're like the scaffolding for the rest of your face. My jaws have grown so far back I can't breathe properly, which is what's caused the sleep apnea. So my airways are something like 5 to 6 millimeters. Sleep apnea isn't really something that gets diagnosed well for people that are a bit on the, you know, the slimmer side. So it had never been picked up on. That puts pressure on my heart and my brain, and my body is constantly in like the survival mode, just trying to like stay alive. So that kind of creates this internal anxiety, like not really mentally but physically. It's really affected every kind of aspect. It's a bit of a myth that it is a cosmetic procedure. My insurance wouldn't pay for surgery if it wasn't medically necessary. I've had to pay for my braces myself, which were like about £7,000. I've had to pay the genioplasty. There's no point getting my jaws fixed and then there being no chin. I've had to save a lot. It's been a long process. I wanted to make this video all year, to be honest, and now 3 days before my surgery I've decided to do it. But I think it's kind of good to document how I look. You know, I'm used to my face, and to think that I'm never gonna know what this looks like again. I'm never gonna look at what I've grown up with in the mirror. That's kind of, I don't know, a little bit heartbreaking in a way. It isn't without its complications. I can lose all feeling across my face, bleeding issues, there's like blindness issues, there's sinus issues, there's relapse issues. It's not for the light-hearted. I'm not trying to get my hopes up too high, just because there's a lot that can go wrong, and I'm very scared of looking back at this time and thinking, was it worth it? I'm not really sure what to expect. All I know is that they're going to bring my jaws forward, they're going to cut out a strip here. Another thing is I have lip incompetence, which means my lips can't naturally close together. I have to force them together. So like if I was to relax my mouth right now, yeah, not attractive. It's not like a guarantee that I'll be able to close my mouth, but it's what my surgeons are aiming for. If this has helped anyone, like please feel free to give me a message. I know that you can't really tell what you're going to fully look like. Apparently a year is the time where you can really be like, this is my face. Sorry, I'm spitting all over the place. I've just had my surgical hooks put on for surgery, and they're really difficult. It's a really long process. If you're needing this, please don't let that put you off, because either way that year is going to be here. And as much as like I've had meltdowns where I've just wanted it to be done, I've just wanted it to be over with, I've been fed up of the entire process, but you know what, a year and a bit later, I'm finally here. I know the recovery is also probably what's more difficult. I think a lot of people talk about how they sort of deal with a bit of depression from it, but I think from what I can understand is it's a very underwhelming recovery, because you're not just going to wake up with a new face. 6 months, you can finally properly maybe eat. Yeah, you finally have no swelling if all goes to plan. It's a lot to think about, there's a lot to do. I'm really excited. I think I should be a lot more scared than I am, but hey, I will take it because I'm the biggest wimp, and I know that if I was scared, there would be no chance in hell that I would be going to even check myself into the hotel. Who do I think I am? But I'm sure that will be different on the day. I'll probably make another video of everything that I'm taking to the hospital, everything that I'm sort of like going to be using post-op. In the meantime, like, if anybody's got any questions, please give me a shout, because it's a really scary thing. Nobody likes the dentist, nobody likes getting braces, nobody likes anything to do with being near their mouth, and it can be really lonely because a lot of people don't get it. I hope you have a really nice day, guys, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next video. Bye.